Okay folks, welcome to another edition of my working on my Isuzu. So today what I want to do is take this window out. It's clear glass, and this is clear glass, and I want to replace the clear glass, and I want to put in a rear window assembly that's out of a vehicle that has tinted glass. We'll start by taking out some screws. One screw there. This is a Phillips screwdriver. And okay, I've got that out. So that's just going to hang there for a couple of seconds. Next step. There is this black plastic bezel at the back. I just need to pop that up. Off it comes. There's only one clip that's holding that on, so not too much there. Okay, I've got myself a small screwdriver here, and I'm just going to pry this piece of yellow plastic. It's just a little connector. Hopefully pry that up. There it is, and it pops out. I've got latch out, and that little piece, that little adapter there is inside. Okay, now I take my large screwdriver up underneath the door, and that's all removed. Now I can't just grab this whole door and yank it. There is a wire connecting the light at the bottom, and there is a series of wires connecting the up and down window switch. And if you yank too hard on that assembly that goes to the window switch, you may actually break the window switch apart. So you got to be pretty careful underneath there. So this is out a little ways, and now you can see in behind there, you can see that there isn't much cable for me to bend that's connecting to the window switch, and of course down there at the bottom is the courtesy light at the bottom of the door. So what I'm going to do very carefully is to try and work my screwdriver in so that I can get this switch out without breaking it open. I found out that when I got in there, this switch was actually already broken off, and you can see that this is broken here. Whether it broke today or whether it broke before, I really don't know. But I may have to put some glue or a big gob of cement or something in there to keep that from popping out, because if somebody's sitting in the back seat, they can obviously push too hard on the switch and they might pop the whole switch down. Next step, I want to remove all of this plastic because I need to get in behind there. So take a look at this tar. The tar is, well, it's a cold day. Right now, I've got my garage door open and I'm using the sunlight from the outdoors mostly. But it's probably about +1 degree Celsius or so. And I can feel a little bit of softness to that tar. On a hot day, it would be a lot better. It's peeling off nicely, thanks to the cold. But putting it back on, I'm going to be a little more interested in how I'm going to make it stick. Okay, that's good. Next step, I need to drop the window down about halfway. Once it gets down to about halfway, there are two 10mm bolts that I'm going to be able to get at. Actually, I'm going to be able to get at them from down at the bottom. I think I'll just remove this bracket. The bracket is going to make it so that I don't have to tear the plastic. If I don't take the bracket off, I'm going to have to rip the plastic. Again, Phillips screwdriver. Okay. Now I got my plastic. Before you disconnect the switch for the door, lower the window. So I have to plug this back in. There we go. Yeah, window's down about halfway, and we'll just tip that back down there. And right now, actually that's a little more than halfway, isn't it? And I'm just barely getting at those two 10mm bolts. There's one. And there's two. So what does that mean? That means I can go up and down with the window now, and I'm not worried about it being connected. The next goal is to get the window out so that I can get the quarter window out. So I'm going to continue to take out a few 10mm bolts here. Window's dropping down. That's fine. The motor is in behind here. Regulator over here. And they're all loose. And then the last one is the support for the regulator way down at the bottom. Now, your window sliding down is going to get in the way. Okay, now here's a trick. May not work for me because my window's wet. I just kind of wiped off this window and it's got water all over it and everything, but let's see if I can get this to work. The idea is that if you haven't got a buddy to help you, you take some tape of some kind and you tape it to your window. Oh my goodness, it's not sticking at all. We're going to have troubles here, folks. But if you got a dry window, you can put tape on there. And when you get your tape onto the window, a couple of strips of tape, and it'll hang on to it. I am going to have a terrible amount of trouble because my windows are wet. Now, why do I want to keep the window up? Because I have to get all the regulators out from the bottom. I forgot one more connection. So there's the connection for the window regulator here. Squeeze. There we go. If you squeeze correctly, of course, it comes apart easily. If you don't, you're fighting it. Okay, so what I've got is the regulator and the track is taken out. If I drop the window down, it's still not going to fall out of the tracks. So the easy way to get a little more space in there is to actually drop down the plastic or the rubber seal with it. So here we go. Take the tape off. My tape came off really easily. Wasn't stuck very much at all. The window's dropping down. When the window goes down, it's hit the bottom, but it hasn't fallen out of anything yet. Okay, out it comes out the top, and all of the rubber came out through the top. I'll have to put it back in again, of course. Set that aside. Now there's enough slack inside. There we go. Got the window out of its track, then the window is out of the vehicle. In order to get out the back quarter panel piece of glass, it's not going to move until I take out one screw. And I got a little screw hidden here. Am I showing that? Yeah. Up underneath the sealer around the door, there's one screw here. There it is. So that's a Phillips screw up top. Don't lose that screw. It looks to be some kind of a special. Yeah, it is. It's like a machine thread. So I'm going to put that in my pocket. Now, look at that. Quarter window's out. And it was just that easy. Now, through the magic of television or something, here's my quarter window that's going to go in. And put it back down the same hole. Make sure it fits in there. Looks like it's going into the same spot. Came out easier than it's going in. Oh, there we go. Makes sense if you put the rubber on the right side of the frame. Oh, just like that, eh? Now, where's that screw? Screwdriver. Screw goes back in the hole again. Okay, we'll put that door seal back together in a few minutes. Now at this point I've got the window in and I can put one of these 10mm bolts back together, because the only thing this did was hang on to that rear window channel, and I can even see where the old one was. Just push up a little bit and it's lining up to exactly the same spot it was before. Slick. It's going to be a dark window there now when I'm done. But that comes right now, so I'm going to take this. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, I'm shoving the front channel rubber down beside the window. There we go. This window is dry, so I might actually get some tape to work on it. So get out my tape again. So you can see I've got a strip of tape there now, and it's holding the window up, because what I have to do is put the regulator in the bottom. Here's my regulator again, shove it back in, same way I got it out. And one more bolt there. I guess these aren't technically bolts, are they? They're not bolts unless they have a nut. So they're cap screws. Okay, whatever. So everything's kind of loose, and but it is lined up. So now I need my ratchet. Oh, one screw missing. There we go. Okay, I got all four. Time to hook up some electricity. So there is a motor connection here. Now if I can get my head out of the way while you guys are watching. There we go. And there's about a parallel angle. You can just see that I just lowered the window enough to get my wrench in there. If I would have been short by about half an inch, I wouldn't have been able to get at it. I would have had to go back to the front of the vehicle and lower the window a little bit more. Okay, it's all tight. Now we're back to the same step as we were before, because you can't make the window go up and down unless you have the switch connected. And you're thinking, okay, well, why don't you just go to the driver's door and push the driver's switch? Well, it doesn't work either because there's nothing connected. So I actually have to go in here again, and I have to plug this all in. Okay, so we've got that bracket back. That's where the door armrest leans up against. Everything's cool. This looks great. Things are still together. Wires are all out in the right place. And I wanted to just show you very quickly the switch. I told you that the switch had popped loose on one side. So what I had done was I just took a bunch of automotive goo, which is really good stuff. It'll set up here quite quickly. Anyway, put a bunch of that around there, and it's going to hold that together. Bottom light connection. Click. Door lock connection. Click. Door lock button. There we go. Line that up. Things look good. And I have 2 screws left, and they are slightly different. So the one with the round head goes right in here. There. And I've got a door lock to put together, so that's going to go in there like that. However, this little yellow connector's got to go in first. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but there, snapped in. Door lock, door open. We'll clean up that window here, and it'll be as good or better. And one last piece. This little panel, done. And then of course there's the door seal to put back together. That's probably going to take me longer than anything else because there's a nice little channel that goes into. See here, it's popped out. So I'm going to put it into the channel first. This might be the right way, it might not be, but it's going to work. I'm putting it in one side. Perfect. There you have it. My new darkened tint windows, replacing the old clear ones. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do the other rear door here without the cameras, but do tune in, subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much, folks.